Hey guys, it's Doc from the Gold Hog. And today I'm going to show you a secondary level of panning gold, cleaning fine gold, and getting it out of black sand. So many people ask this question about how do you get that little fine gold out of that black sand. So here's a secondary level. Now the first level, there's another video if you can't find it that we posted before this where I showed you a shaker table method using a pan, tapping it against your hand and allowing that gold to settle into a corner. So once I do that, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my snuffer bottle and I'm going to go into those areas and I'm going to suck up all the black sand and gold where that gold is heavy in concentration. Now keep in mind, I'm not trying to clean up the gold at that point. I'm just trying to get those pockets where I have a lot of gold sitting up in there. I'm going to suck up black sand, that's okay. But at that point, I'll probably get about 90–95% of my gold out of that pan. Now I'm going to take it to the next level, and that's what I'm going to show you here today. Okay, for this next level, here's what I'm going to do. So I've emptied out my snuffer bottle with a bunch of black sand and gold inside of it. I've dumped it into my pan, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let it settle. And the gold is still all mixed in here with the black sand, but I want you to watch what I do and how I use my hand. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use the same shake and bump method, shaker table bump method, but I want you to see if you can see this. As I go through, I want you to see what happens. Can you see that little gold pocket now happening? You can actually see that gold pocket forming, and if I stop, you'll actually start to see it over here. So the gold is going to settle where this pan is tapping just like a shaker table, and you can see that gold walking up right in here. So really what we're doing is this gold in here, maybe I ran 2,000 pounds of dirt through our monster hog, and we catch a ton of fine gold in that thing. So I've concentrated that down, and that concentrates down to about half a gallon. I'll run that through the gold cube. That's another concentration level. That takes it down to about 2 cups. And now I'm concentrating it even more. I'm concentrating that gold into certain pockets, and that's what you want to look for. So I'm going to shake this back up again, and I'll zoom in and show you. Try and get it a little bit tighter so you can actually see this happen. So I'm going to leave it here, and again, my hand is going to be over here, and I'm going to be tapping onto my hand over here, and I want you to watch what happens. And I can even flatten out my pan a little bit. But can you see that gold starting to form in that corner? And now I can even tilt the pan up a little bit if I want, or flatten it out. And I'll start to see that gold all of a sudden show up in this corner. Now if I want, what I could do is I can actually walk this gold even further up. I could just keep tapping and walking it up even further in here. And now I can clean out this portion in here. The other way I like to do this is now I might even go in here and steal this corner. I know this is real heavy, concentrated up in this corner. So now I've stolen this corner. I'm going to forget about this other part. I'm going to move this up here. And now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to sort of spread it out. And I'm just going to backwash and tap. So now I'm just going to backwash and tap. And allow that black sand to wash down. And now I've pretty much got pure fine gold up in this corner, and of course I can go ahead and just suction it out and remove it. Now keep in mind that what I've got here, I've actually got, I know for a fact, I've got a ton of -50s, -100s, 150s, and even 200s up in here that I'm doing through this method. So you can see, let me shake it down. I want you to see this. I want you to see the amount of fine gold that's in here. There is a ton of fine gold that I'm getting out just by panning. Am I going to get 100% out? No, but I'm going to get about 90–95% of it out. Alright, so now I'm going to show you one of the last steps for cleaning this gold out. So now I'm going to knock it all up into the corner here, and I'm going to take my snuffer bottle and I'm just going to come in And I'm going to clean that. I know that that's nice and clean. Same thing. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the same thing again. So I'm just going to come up and I'm going to start to see more gold show up. And then once I see that gold show up in the corner, I can pull it away, get it away from the rest of that material. Spread it out just a bit, and then backwash and tap. Backwash and tap. Backwash and tap. Now if you'll notice on this, I'm not trying to get every single piece of black sand out of here yet. That's not my goal right now. My goal is just to simply get as much gold out of here as I can, as quickly as I can, so I'm just backwash, just do my washerboard back and tap, back, tap, 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 tap. And you can see the gold is getting less and less over in here. So I'm finding less and less gold, which is a good sign. Now I can pan this down and check it. And what I'm going to see is that I have almost no gold in here. If I have some gold in here, I may have a couple pieces. I may have a couple pieces of, 100, 200s, just a few strays, and you can go back and keep doing this. But again, you saw me do this here. It takes about 5 minutes to get that gold out of here. So now if I want, I can even clean it more. And I'll just grab another pan. I'm going to grab another pan here, a couple of drops of jet dry, put it in here, and now I'm going to empty my shaker bottle into here. Wash it out again, agitate it, dump it back down. So I've got most of my gold. I've got my black sand out of the bottle. Now I'm going to put most of my gold into here. So I'm going to shake this gold down. And the same thing. I'm just going to bump, 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 bump. Just bump it around. Now if I want, I can do the method that I showed before, which is the Georgia swirl too. I can also use that on this. So now I'm just going to swirl it. I'm going to get a little centrifuge going. And that'll help pull some of this gold, some of that black sand. You can see how it's separated. I've got gold over here and I've got black sand here. It's hard to do that swirl when you have real fine gold. So now I'm going to come up and now I've got real pretty fine gold, and I want you to see how clean that is. I want you to see how clean that gold is up in that corner. But it's getting real clean up in here now. This is almost 100% clean over here, but I can just work it around and get that black sand out. And I want you to see, what's important to see is, I want you to understand how much fine gold is in here. There are just hundreds and hundreds of pieces of super fine gold in here. So you can see this, hopefully. I want you to see that super, super fine gold in there. So I've got almost all this black sand out of here, just in a few minutes. Now it's to the point that it's going to be a little bit hard. So now I can just backwash and tap it. Let that gold spread out, let some water run over it, and just tap. But you can see, now you can see how really clean that gold is right in there. So now I can take that back line out and have almost pure gold in there. Back line is out. Bring the water down, back line is out. Okay, so now I've got another clean pan. I've just cleaned it out, put a drop of jet dry in there, and now I'm going to drop my gold in. I'm still going to have a little bit of black sand. Do a little bit of swirling on it, a little bit of the Georgia swirl there, and then I can tap it up. And now you can see that almost 100% pure gold, a little bit of black sand. I'm still washing out over here, but I'm down to almost 100% pure gold in here. And really, I'm working with very fine gold, mainly in the 50, 100, even 150 and 200 range. But what I've done is I have essentially taken cons, worked them down. We got them out of our Monster Hog, ran them through the cube, did that one panning series with the full cons, and that took about 10 minutes. Then I went through these couple of steps. It'll take you about 5 minutes. So now, out of this group of cons that I worked, I mean, it's taken me probably a total of about 20-25 minutes to get down to almost pure gold. So real easy way to work it, real easy way to clean it up, and you will still have, you never throw away your black sand. So I'm going to keep this black sand, and I'm going to store this for a later time. I may run it over a wave table, a shaker table, water table, whatever, but for right now it's not worth my time. If I've got 10 little specks in here, I'm going to put this away. I've gotten almost all my gold out of this, and that's what I want. I want the majority of the gold. Okay, so I figured, what the heck, I might as well go ahead and shoot and clean it up too. So again, I'm just going to dump my gold in here. There isn't a whole lot as far as weight wise, but I'm going to rinse out my shaker bottle well. Again, I'm not throwing away my shaker bottle, so I'm not worried. Now what I'm going to do is when I get it in my pan, I'm going to slowly tilt, and I'm going to take the excess water out of my pan. Again, I'm not throwing away my shaker bottle. It doesn't matter if a piece or two gets in here. And now I'm going to turn this on high, and I'm going to let this bake for a minute. Okay, so that's baked out. And warning, hot gold. Don't touch it. Okay, so I've got my other gold here. I've got my other gold here that we've picked up over the past couple of weeks. I'm going to add this to it, and I'm going to weigh it out real quick. I just use a piece of paper. I just put a little crease into it. I'm going to put the gold in here. Pour it in here. That's a nice little bottle of gold over the past 2 or 3 weeks that we've been able to work out. So let's see what we got. Man, someone needs to clean this countertop. So I'm going to push. Let's zoom in a little bit here for you. Okay, so on this, I'm not trying to get exact. I'm just going to get close. I know these bottles are the same manufacturer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one on, and then I'm going to push tear, and it'll bring it back down to 0. Put this on, and we have just over 11 grams of gold, so that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. That's a nice little bottle of gold. So again, this isn't perfect. You know, there might be a tiny bit of little black sand in here, but I can go back and re-clean it. But that's pretty good. It's about 10 grams, excuse me, just over 11 grams of gold. And it's good looking stuff. Hope you enjoyed the tip.